All Things Motoring International is owned and brought to you by SA's most trusted online vehicle platform, CHANGECARS. Our name says it all. Whether you're looking to sell, need advice, need finance, or need insurance, CHANGECARS has you covered. Coming up this week on All Things Motoring International, Mike attends the Alfa Romeo Concourse at Modderfontein Burton Sculpture Park for a day of elegance, history and style. And Ernest is back driving the iconic Mini Cooper S for a retro review. This is a show filled with beautiful mechanical creations.
Porsche proudly proclaim that 70% of all of their magnificent vehicles that have ever been produced are still on the road. Alfa make no such claims. However, I will make a claim. When I come to an event like this and I see the most incredible collection of Alfa that I've never seen before, I'd like to say I think that every single Alfa Romeo ever made is still being loved, unless it was properly written off. What is today about? 70 years of Alfa Giulietta, the incredible badge that is Giulietta. We look forward to sharing that with you, but an event like this is a lot more than that. It's about everything that is Alfa Romeo. Passion, pride, good looking, you name it. How many attendees? Too many to mention. Let me tell you a short story and then an incomplete story. Behind me is a 1999 or 2000 Alfa 156. In the year 1999, this car was launched, and guess who bought one? You're looking at him. Brand new from Arnold Chat's Alfa Romeo in Hyde Park. I just absolutely loved how they'd gone from the 155, which absolutely did nothing for me. I found it very boxy, to the sleek future shape. However, the 2.5-litre V6 in this car and everything about Alfa at the time was not something I could live with. So very quickly, I sold it. How quickly? Less than 1 year. Now, you may say, what is the incomplete story? It's what is next to me, and take a journey with me. Many times in the past, I've spoken about the importance of naming culture. Let's look at the success of Toyota, Corolla and Hilux in the 70s and present. Then you look at BMW with the 3, the 5, the 7, the exact same thing. Volkswagen with a long-running Golf, that leads to success. Behind me, Alfa follow a slightly different philosophy. You heard me talking about the Giulietta. That is a story in itself. But let's look at the three vehicles around me. The Alfa 155, the 156, and then what I believe is the ultimate guaranteed future classic. In 25 years from now, if you don't own an Alfa Romeo 159, you will be sorry. The beautiful story of these three, 155, 156. What happened to 157 and 158? Well, clearly Alfa didn't follow the BMW, Toyota or Volkswagen route. To hear more about these three cars, we go to the voice in the sky.
The Alfa Romeo 155 Type 167 is a compact executive car produced between 1992 and 1998. It was very successful in touring car racing, not only in results, but also offering typical Italian poster-worthy inspiration. Between 1992 and 1994, the 155 managed to take the Italian Superturismo Championship, the German DTM Championship, the Spanish Touring Car Championship, and the British Touring Car Championship. Our favorite 155 moment was when touring car ace Gabriele Tarquini put the cheeky Alfa on two wheels at Donington Park on his way to winning the championship for Alfa on debut in 1994. The 1997 Alfa 156 was the first Alfa Romeo for many years that was greeted with near universal praise for its styling, and in 2005 the 159 became the replacement for the 156. Although it was objectively a better car, it never managed to win the hearts of the Alfisti like its predecessors.
One of the most celebrated individuals from the 1500s is a French gentleman called Nostradamus, who is credited with predicting the future. Now, let me make a real prediction. Next to me, the most beautiful Alfa Romeo, in my opinion, ever built. Do you get a more beautiful car than this? Possibly you do. You tell me which it is. You get good condition, you get excellent condition, and then you get Concourse. And Concourse, the word, was designed for this beauty next to me. Next to me is probably the finest example I've ever seen of this incredible mark. Alfa Alfetta. What did Alfa think at the time? We've got such a good name, let's name it twice. Alfa Alfetta. The mag wheels, the 4 headrests. You open this car and it's got that authentic 1970s Alfa smell. If you could bottle it, you'll make lots of money. For many people, seeing these incredible cars will be the highlight. For me, that's one of the highlights. The other highlight is meeting the fans. Mark and Carla, clearly you are BMW fans. Just looking at your T-shirt. No. Sorry, I meant Alfa Romeo. The alphabet starts at A. Mark, starting with you. What is it about the Alfa mark that resonates with you?
Ever since I was a child, I just loved Italian cars. The Alfa Romeos were so different and so special. And I just had to have.
Now, Carla, you're Mark's daughter. Is it the same for you?
100%, yes.
That smile on your face, what is your first memory of the Alfa Romeo brand?
Sure. Being about 3 years old and going on trips with them, breakfast and that. And just for me, what stood out was the steering wheel.
Really?
I've always loved that round steering wheel, and it's just something that's resonated with me now even. If I look at a car, if it's got a beautiful steering wheel, if it's not, no, walk away. But obviously it must have an Alfa badge on it.
Mark, what is the next Alfa going to be in your garage?
I'm thinking in terms of a Giulia, but I'm not sure at this stage.
So I've made a prediction, the Alfa Romeo 159. Just a normal... Hey, Carla, I can see something's resonated there with you. Tell me about the 159 for you.
Well, I know it's a special car for my dad. He's always loved that one. Oh.
Carla, Mark, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. Thank you so much. But Mark, you need to share something with your audience. We get talking, and what do we share? Besides a love for an Alfa Romeo 159.
Michael and I share a birthday. So we almost siblings.
22nd of March, I get talking, I say, when's your birthday? He says, 22nd of March. I said, no, get serious. Myself, my son, and Mark, Carla, 14th of July, it still counts.
Thank you so much. It was lovely to meet you, Michael. Thank you.
Coming up after the break, Ernest is back at the CKD Mini Collection to take a Mini Cooper S for a spin. Are you looking to sell? Visit Change Cars and click on the Selling tab.
A few weeks ago, I was at the CKD Mini Collection to go check out the array of minis on display. Today, I'm back, and this time, we're going to be driving one of these very special Mini Cooper S's. Welcome to Retro Review. Oh, here we go, behind the wheel of a Mini Cooper S, a car that I've never driven before. In fact, I don't think I've even driven a Mini, let alone a Cooper S, which is, of course, the most special of these Minis. This model over here has got a 4-speed gearbox, and interestingly, on this gearbox, there is no synchro on first gear, which means that when you put it in the first gear, you've got to go into second gear first. Now, remember when we were all taught how to drive, we were told you've got to go into second and then first before we pulled away? I think that's why. One of the interesting parts about this car is that the steering is unbelievably responsive, which means that if I wanted to change directions, I can change directions quickly because there's not much weight to throw around. The pedals are spaced nicely, but there's no heel and towing happening here. You need to have those probably custom designed to get that done. But put your foot down and it goes. Woo! It's no power steering here though, but a very decent little turning circle, that's for sure. It does incidentally have assisted brakes, and some of the models didn't come with assisted brakes, but this one does. This car makes me want to drive it fast. Are you serious? Oh my goodness me, this is so fun. This is so fun. Okay, that is tire screeching. Because it's such a compact, small car, you're actually not doing stupid speeds. It just feels like you're going really fast, but don't be fooled though. It can go really fast if you wanted to. What a drive, what a drive. It's a lot more fun than I expected it to be. It's supposed to be the fun performance car, so I think that checkbox is definitely ticked. But let's take a closer look at what's happening on the outside. So the grille on the Mini Cooper S is slightly different to the standard version. You can see that over there. This one's got the fog lights a la rally car, and then of course this cute little chrome bumper over there. These wheels are aftermarket wheels, so these aren't the originals, but incidentally, the original wheels were steel wheels too that came with little ventilation slots in them. On the outside, you got one singular chrome rearview mirror and exposed outside hinges on the doors. And then this one over here has got the sliding window mechanism as well. So how do you tell the difference between a Mini Cooper and a Mini Cooper S? The big one is fuel tanks. This one comes with 2 fuel tanks, one on each side, because it's an S. And then, of course, you got the badging over here, which would either read Morris Cooper S, or in this case, Austin Cooper S. This is a 1966 model, and there's so many small details about Mini that can go unnoticed. Like, for example, depending on which year it is, you get a specific color, like this specific color green. Then the interior is also customized when it comes to those bucket seats over there. And Mini owners are so pedantic that they've been known to dye the leather of their seats to make sure that the colors were exactly period correct. Even though the engine is 1275 cc's, it's quite compact inside here. It comes with twin SU carbs, and then instead of an alternator, it's actually got a generator sat in the side over here. Everything on these Minis and in this collection, down to the nameplates, are as original as possible. And although some of the cars are in the process of being restored, some of them are a bit more restored than others. Special thanks to CKD Mini and Mayors Mini for inviting me over to come check out this incredible collection of cars, and specifically telling me to rev this one so I can get the full experience. Thanks, guys.
Coming up after the break, Mike is back and he continues to browse all the beauties at the Alfa Romeo Concourse show. Did you know? The production of these small yet impressive vehicles date back to 1959. And from then until 2000, it was manufactured by the English-based company British Motor Corporation. The Mini got an upgrade at the hands of John Cooper of the Cooper Car Company, which is how we get the familiar name. The sportier version of the spunky little hatchback became known for leaving its oversized competition in the dust. Ernest's inspiration, stunt team leader and renowned driver Remy Julien famously choreographed the original Italian Job movie driving sequences to create one of the most iconic heist movies ever made. The Mini's surprising racing pedigree lives on, and even today, this tiny dancer can be seen taking the fight to the bigger, more powerful race cars at historic racing events all over the world. Looking for finance and insurance? Visit CHANGECARS and click on the Financial Products tab.
If you said to 10 people you're looking for a medium-sized sedan, luxury sedan, what will they choose? I guarantee you, Dino, it will be an Audi, BMW or Mercedes, 10 out of 10. You outside that circle, very different. You've gone for an Alfa. Tell us why.
I've always had a passion for Alfa Romeo. My dad was a car salesman in the 80s before Alfa pulled out of the country.
You're doing your best to hide it. You drive one, wearing an Alfa Romeo hat, Alfa Romeo shirt.
Yeah, I think the difference between an Italian car versus those German brands that you've mentioned is really the passion of it.
Correct.
I think those other saloons are very much clinical. And what I love about the Alfa is it might not be the most technologically advanced, but it really is a driver's car.
But when you look at the car, a couple of things that stand out. The interior for me is absolutely almost a little bit older school. You spoke about the technology, the way the engine sounds, and then the actual look of the car. How do you describe how good looking this car is?
Oh, it's absolutely, it's Italian panache, basically. Look, in the defense of the interior, like you said, it's a bit dated now in 2024.
But personally, I think it's correct. Modern cars, they've all gone for these big screens. You can't find a fan button. You can't do anything without touching a screen. I love this technology.
Yes. So for me, the idea is that it's very driver focused. You see, and that's the difference between an Alfa. People that buy an Alfa are really enthusiasts that want to drive a car, as opposed to being an IT geek.
Of course.
So we don't want to be driven, we want to drive. And that's why I think the minimalistic interior is perfect for the Alfa Romeo, because it's about the driver experience and not really about connecting your iPhone or Android phone and listening to music. It really is listening to the engine and sort of like feeling the curves as you drive into it and as you drive out.
So you're talking about Golf 5, Golf 6 GTI performance. However, take a Golf 5, Golf 6 GTI that is absolutely common, park it next to this incredible Alfa. Dino, we know will stand out. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you so much.
Wishing you the very best. And I've got one standard ending. When you want to sell it, where's it going?
Straight to you.
He knows his stuff. When we think of endangered species, often we'll think of four-legged creatures, something like a cheetah or a rhinoceros. However, another endangered species is a four-door sedan. Next to me, a Lancia Thema from the 1980s, early 1990s. In that period, the amount of four-door vehicles was abundant. Nissan Skyline, Toyota Cressida, Lancia Thema, everybody made a four-door sedan. So let's focus on the brand Lancia first. Lancia, for me, is always associated with rallying. The Lancia Delta Integrale, the incredible vehicle that it was. The Lancia Stratus, you've seen it many times on the show. Then behind me, the Lancia Thema 8.32. The 8 was easy. It stood for 8-cylinder. The .32 had two meanings, either 32-valve or the 3.2-litre engine that was taken out of the Ferrari 328. Now, I spoke earlier about Toyota Cressidas and Nissan Skylines. Then you got the monster of all four-door saloons, this. Have a look around, picture it, 1990s. You're a well-to-do businessman or an exec at a well-known company. What would you rather be driving? A Nissan Skyline, Toyota Corolla, a Ferrari-engined Lancia Thema 8.32. They say every story has a beginning and every story has an end. The beautiful Alfa Giulietta story, we're going to focus on the middle. For more about it, you're going to listen to Voice of the Sky, but that's in a moment. Next to me is 7 of the most incredible Alfa Giuliettas that I've ever seen. This is a period that I remember. Mid-1980s, 1.8-litre four-cylinder, 2-litre four-cylinder. These cars were standout. Why were they standout? Because they didn't look like anything at the time. Look at any four-door car at the time. Toyota Cressida at the time, that car was boxy. This car looked like it was designed by an incredible designer, and it was. Giorgio, Pininfarina, and Bertoni. All of those design houses played a role in the Alfa Giulietta. Look at the door handles. That, for me, is the absolute identifiable feature of this car. At the time, all cars had door handles that stood proud. Think of a VW Golf. Look at these door handles. They are flush-fitting. Alfa, you deserve more success than you've achieved. You know you have a fan in Michael Bashut, and you have a fan in many others. Now, to hear about this beautiful story from beginning to end, we go to the voice in the sky.
The first Giulietta model was a coupe, the Giulietta Sprint, introduced in late 1954. This was followed by a sedan in early 1955, and in mid-1955, the open two-seat Giulietta Spider featuring convertible bodywork by Pininfarina. In 1957, a more beautiful Berliner version called Giulietta TI Turismo Internazionale was presented with minor cosmetic changes. The Giulietta sedan stayed in production till 1965. 12 years later, the second generation appeared, and it stayed in production until 1985. After Fiat took over the Alfa Romeo brand, the Giulietta name was lost until 2010, when the successor to the 147 was once more named Giulietta.
"70 years of Giulietta, and I would like to say 70 more good years for Alfa and beyond. What can be said about the Alfa brand that we haven't already said? Passionate owners, incredibly beautiful cars. They always say, buy it with your heart. I say, buy it with your heart, buy it with your head, buy it without thinking. This is a brand we all love. Where were we today? Modderfontein Sculpture Park in Johannesburg. The incredible setting for this incredible event. To the Alfa Club of South Africa that put this together, I salute you, and I hope you, the viewer, enjoyed it.
Here is the screen top tip of the week. Rotate your tires regularly so they wear evenly. Think of it as giving your car a balanced diet. Before you buy a second-hand car, screen it. It's what smart people do. Coming up next week on All Things Motoring International, Ernest and a special guest attend the Superboss event in Cape Town. This is a show that showcases simpler times.
I want to share with you a short story and then a beautiful, beautiful.
Let's check out the boot space, shall we? If I can open it, there we go. That's not bad, actually. That's not bad at all. Ah, the fuel tanks, okay.
I know what you're gonna
What?
do. You're gonna go start and then you're gonna make me go like what I did when I was 5.
What?
You're gonna make me do what I do when I used to like when I was 5.
What was that? Like, say dada?
Stop.
Let's see what she does. Woo! Ernest Page entering in the Monte Carlo Rally. Yeah!
I'm going to be like an Alfa Stelvio, and he's going to be like a Suzuki Espresso. 1, 2, 3. Porsche proudly claim that 70% of all Porsches, every made, sorry. When it comes to Alfa Romeo, Jaden, you are the absolute expert. If there's one brand that you know every single thing about, it is Alfa Romeo. Tell us the Alfa Romeo story from the start. What country are they made in?
Italy.
Hey! So the reason we are smiling is Jaden, even though his dad has a TV show and dad's in the motor business, if there's one thing that Jay is not passionate about, is cars, right or wrong?
Right.
But when it comes to certain cars, which one excites you?
Alpha.
Why? Because I've been told to say so.
Because you have one and I like the convertible.
Awesome. Behind me, an Alfa in its natural habitat, going home on the back of a tow truck.
Do you need any motoring advice? From where or what to buy? And where to sell? Visit the All Things Motoring International website and click the Advice tab to ask Mikey. All Things Motoring International was brought to you by SA's most trusted online vehicle platform, CHANGECARS. Our name says it all. There is no safer online vehicle platform. That's not an opinion, that's a fact.